So here we are, Rick, once again. It's been a while, hasn't it?
It has been a while. I mean, we both had original coloured hair.
I know. One of the things that you mentioned earlier is that Rick's Place got an enormous amount of mail from people, and we know that you've got a big listener fan base who would like to ask you things.
Yeah, I mean, I accept. I'm very pleased to have such a big listener fan base. I think they follow me more out of bewilderment than interest.
Is he dead yet?
You get that all on the internet, don't you?
Yes.
Is he still alive?
Which must be a great thing to wake up to in the morning.
Well, it was.
I suppose it is, actually.
Yeah, well, it is, actually, because, I sort of wake up, throw back the duvet, see if anything's dropped off. If it hasn't, you get up and go another day.
Excellent.
Can't be bad.
What is this room that we're in? Describe this room that we're in.
There's something I've always wanted, which is a music room library.
Yeah, there's a lot of books in here.
There are about 4,000 books, I think we've got. We haven't got them all out yet.
Have you read them all?
No, I've coloured some of them in, but I haven't read them all.
We should also say, by the way, because we're in Rick's house, if you hear any noises in the background, it's Rick's family, who we've asked to be quiet, but, they just ignored us, basically.
Next door, there's a little bungalow, which my mother-in-law lives in, who's lovingly known as Kellogg's. Call her Kellogg's because her surname is Kaufman, with a K.
Yes.
And she is quite special, so she became known as Special K. And Special K, of course, is made by, so she became known as Kellogg's. She is, bless her, on a different planet. And she lives next door in the bungalow that we built for her, which she calls Pottery Cottage.
Pottery Cottage.
But we call it Stalag 19. and she's wonderful.
Brilliant.
I mean, for 87, she is amazing. I mean, she doesn't look 87.
No?
I mean, she might have done once upon a time, but she doesn't anymore. She is absolutely fabulous.
Well, we look forward to meeting her at some point, and of course, your fabulous Rachel, who's not here at the moment, but we'll meet her in other episodes.
She's gone to a garden centre.
And you sat in front of a rather marvellous instrument. Look at the size of that.
I am living a dream, which is to have 3 pianos in the house.
3.
And that stems from Benjamin Britten. You've heard of Benjamin Britten?
I have. I believe he was quite big in the classical genre.
He was very big in the classical genre. You thought he was one of the Beatrix Potter characters, didn't you? But that's Benjamin Bunny.
Oh, yes.
But he lived not far from us here, in Aldborough.
Oh, yes.
In a house called the Red House. And in fact, there's a museum there, the house is everything there. We visit there quite a lot. We've got to know the curators, if that's the right word, very well. And one of the things, first time I visited the house, which is about 5 years ago, you go into the lounge area, dining room, and there's a grand piano. And you go, oh, that's right. And on the grand piano is manuscript paper and a pencil, I think. And then you go into the library area, and there's another piano with manuscript paper and pencils, and then you go to his music room, which is above a big garage, where he finished all the writing off, and there's another grand piano.
Wow!
And I said to the lady who's showing us around, I said, "Why did he have 3 pianos?" And she said, "Because he believed that if you had an idea, you had between 20 and 30 seconds to write it down, or record it, or do something. After that, it started to change."
Wow.
And he's absolutely right. The number of times I've had an idea and not been in a position to write it down or play it, and then when you get to a piano to play it, you can only sort of remember 75% of it, and you never ever get it right. And I thought, that's brilliant. One day, I want to have that situation for myself. And luckily, I've got the most wonderful wife who, in return for a shopping trip, said, yes, you can have your 3 pianos. So I've got a piano here in the library,
yes,
which is a Blutner.
Right. How old?
I think this is 1925,
Wow.
this one.
Well, that's fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah. So here we are in Rick's spacious, capacious library. Thousands of books, a beautiful Blutner piano there, and some questions from your audience.
Right. Now, I haven't looked at these.
Did you not?
No, deliberately.
You see, I sent you these ahead of time so you could have a look. So we're going to get the genuine raw Rick on this.
Yep.
Neil Clark is in Spalding. Have you ever been to Spalding?
I have been to Spalding many times. Spalding is in Lincolnshire.
It is.
And it has, it's famous for tulips.
Yes.
And other spring flowers.
Yes, it is.
And there's a very nice restaurant there that serves mussels. Unfortunately, I don't go there because I don't like mussels, but it's quite famous. But it's a nice place, very Dutch.
Is it? Yeah, well, yes, I guess.
You've got the 3-storey houses and things down the side there. I like Spalding. They've got a brilliant bookshop too.
Well, Neil Clark is also a resident, and so they've got him. Dear Rick, asked Neil, I was 14 in 1968. I considered myself very sophisticated musically. I liked more proggy acts like the Pink Floyd, as I think they were called, the Pink Floyd Sound, and Jethro Tull, and then I discovered a band called Junior's Eyes. I bought a single by them called Mr. Golden Trumpet Player, and I've since found out that you might have played piano on this. Did you? Can you remember what you played? The single's long been lost now, but I always remember playing it to death. As a boy, he says, thank you very much, Rick, says Neil. I saw your recent Journey to the Centre of the Earth tour. I thought Molly Marriott was excellent.
1968. I was 19.
He was 14, you were 19.
So he's 5 years younger than me.
Right, yeah.
And so let's go back with that. Junior's Eyes, yeah. I did an album with Junior's Eyes called Battersea Power Station.
Right.
And you know what? It was a great album produced by Tony Visconti.
Oh, the Tony Visconti.
The Tony Visconti.
Wow.
And they were a good band. In fact, I asked that time if I fancied joining them.
Oh.
Which is not very much common knowledge, but I couldn't because I was still at college. I was still at school. You know, so I thought, well, if I skip the geography lesson, I might be able to come to a rehearsal. Yeah. But they were great fun. That particular track he talks about, I don't remember playing piano. It was mainly organ, I think, that I did.
Okay.
But I could very much be wrong.
Oh, yeah, I did say piano. Oh, just keyboard then, I guess. Keyboard, yeah.
It was just, back then in 1960, whatever it was. It could have been early 69, but I think it was 1968 we recorded it. What became Morgan Studios. Now, no longer Morgan Studios, but I did meet the guy who owns them now the other day.
Oh, really?
At a Saving Australia's charity. So that's interesting. I'll talk about studios one day because they're all
different.
different.
They're all different. That's right. It wasn't Barry Morgan, didn't he? Set
it was Barry Morgan who set it up.
Drummer.
It was. I've got some hilarious stories about there.
Oh, we'll have a Morgan Studios episode.
We'll
have Studios episode.
All of studios because they have some great stories. Anyway,
so you don't remember what you played on that track, basically?
I think it was the opening track that I played. I can't remember. I mean, for heaven's sake, it was like 88 years ago or something like that. But the album is available.
Oh, really?
If he would like to know, it's available online, and somebody released it as a CD.
Oh, wow.
How legal it is, but how legal is anything on the internet these days?
Yeah.
But I did buy a copy, so I've got one somewhere.
Oh.
But I really liked it. I think it was the first track that I played. I did quite a bit, but it was all organ.
Junior's Eyes, is it?
Yeah, Junior's Eyes, yeah.
Okay. And then Neil also mentioned Molly Marriott.
We will get Molly on the show. Molly is fabulous. She's such great fun because when I did the Journey tour, Hayley Sanderson, who we know and love, the wonderful Hayley, we'll get her on to talk about Strictly.
Yeah.
Hayley was unavailable, unfortunately. So she said, look, you need Molly. Mm. So she introduced me to Molly. And Molly, this is absolutely true, Molly kind of said, I'm going to send you a picture. I said, really? She said, a picture of you and I when I was 15.
Really?
So...
there's many a politician who never want to hear that.
No, I know. And she sent me this photo, and she's quite a cheeky character. And I said, where was this taken? She said, at a Water Rats Ball, the Grand Order of Water Rats Ball. She said because her dad, of course, is the great Stevie Marriott, sadly long since gone, and her mum married Joe Brown. And Joe is another water rat and a great friend, and he took Molly and her mum to a Water Rats, the Grand Order of Water Rats Ball, which is where we met and had a photo taken.
Blimey.
So we have the connection as well with Joe Brown as well. Molly came amazing.
Yeah.
She absolutely amazing. I mean, I'm really lucky because I've got two great girl singers that I can use at any juncture. And there is an advantage with girl singers if you're somebody like me. Well, girl singers can sing male stuff. their ranges are very hard for guys to sing female stuff, especially if it goes up very high, unless they're willing to have the operation. So
you just don't pay enough for that, do you?
No, nowhere near close. But Molly was absolutely amazing.